Level design is so important when it comes to video games. It's what draws the player into the world. Whether it's for multiplayer or a story campaign, the level, feel, and design go hand in hand with game mechanics. I'm Deadeye, and this is Game Connect. Now this will also be up on my main channel, so if you want to go check that out, I'll have a link below. Same thing goes for Game Connect. In my main channel, there'll be a link below for Game Connect. Back to level design and today's gaming topic. Call of Duty and the 3-lane system. The 3-lane system has always been a part of Call of Duty in some way, which isn't a bad thing, it's just I feel they've overdone it in recent years. Excluding Ghost and Infinite Warfare, because I don't really play those games. Treyarch's Black Ops 3 and Sledgehammer's Advanced Warfare use the 3-lane system on almost every map, and here's the proof. We'll start with Advanced Warfare, a game I actually enjoy and has my highest prestige rank over all Call of Duties. Regardless, I can't ignore the fact that they are probably the worst at using the 3-lane system. I mean, almost every map has 3 main lanes that may divert a tiny bit and then reconverge at some spot. It's kind of annoying knowing that because I want variety in my maps. I don't want to finish a game thinking the next map won't matter because the layout is exactly the same as the last. It's one of the main problems Call of Duty players are facing and they don't even really realize it. I did a poll on Twitter to test to see how many people feel. Only 7 people voted, but the results are there. Starting with Biolabs, I enjoyed this map, but it very much so has a 3-lane system implemented. Biolabs is a good map, but the 3-lane system hurts it more than you'd expect. Longevity is key when making multiplayer maps, and that's something Call of Duty is losing when making maps. They just take the 3-lane system and work with it a lot more now, and I feel it's hurting them in the long run. Some of the dev teams are good at naming maps still, like Sledgehammer, they've been decent in naming maps. Like Biolabs, you can understand why it's called Biolabs. Black Ops 3 and Treyarch, I'm sorry, but some of those map names were just out there. Even if it's related to the campaign, it still made no sense. Now here's another map. This is Detroit. Detroit is an okay map, but the 3-lane system is definitely prominent here as well. Just don't get caught in the middle lane and you should be fine. The only argument I could find for this not being a 3-lane map is the hospital, which I consider a part of the middle lane, because it leads to the same spot as the middle lane, or the middle road. I consider the side lanes to be the garage and the school, with the other side lane being the 2 smaller buildings in the opposite side. I really enjoyed this map whenever I played Advanced Warfare for the stretch I did. It was one of my favorite maps to go into. Like, whenever I was playing Advanced Warfare, I was really into clans, and I played for a decent clan. We were top whenever it came to clan wars, whenever Advanced Warfare was around. Detroit is a very fun map. I just feel the 3-lane system hurts it in a way. You could also make the argument that every Call of Duty map has a 3-lane system in it, but I feel it's the substance inside the 3 lanes that really matters. Like, if you look at Modern Warfare, or COD 4 maps, you could see a 3-lane system, but the way they make their maps, it's not really prominent as much as these ones. This next one's gonna be fun. Ah, yes, Green Band. Probably the biggest culprit in having a 3-lane system. And falling off this map was absolutely horrendous. I loved the innovation with this map in a way that Sledgehammer did. I don't know what the thought process was when making this map, but it's an interesting map in a way. I hated falling off this map, but the 3-lane system in this map is so apparent look at the map layout. It's literally 3 bars. It's like they didn't try. Aesthetically, they did. But layout-wise, the map falls flat. I remember this map being advertised and seeing the pretty, I don't know the exact name of the tree, but the pink leaf tree. I remember that being a huge thing whenever this game came out. This map is Riot. Riot is an obvious one as well, in having the main prison being the center lane, a security building and a road being a side lane, a garage and storage building being the other side lane. It, once again, is a well done map in a environment aspect. But again, the 3-lane system is very prominent in this map. Here's the security building that I completely go over the top of. That's another thing. I feel like the exosystem in Advanced Warfare kind of killed some of the maps, in a way. But also it gave you tactical advantages, you could go at it 2 different ways. But at the same time it made it a literal 3-lane map. Like, for some people, they just found themselves exoing along and everything was kind of bland. No run ins and outs. Solar. Solar is probably my favorite map on Advanced Warfare. It's so bright and vibrant, it seemed like it could never get old. But in a way it did. And I wasn't quite sure why. I think it's the 3-lane system at work. I loved this map. This was the first map I got a Goliath on. And I had so much fun playing it. I feel Solar was one of the better 3-lane system maps in this game, but it's still there. You can still see the layout of the 3-lane system. Core is a very interesting map. Sticks to the core of Advanced Warfare's multiplayer map theme, aka the 3-lane system. It's the epitome of a butterfly plating map. To be honest, I feel a lot of these 3-lane maps use a butterfly painting as reference. Paint one side, fold it, boom, there's your map. If you look at the layout of a lot of these maps, a lot of them you would think the dev team literally just took some kind of software. They didn't have to really use painting, but just some kind of software, made some marks or put some shapes there, folded it in the software and said, okay, that'll be a trailer, that'll be a silo, that'll be a missile silo, such and such. This big round thing will be like a ball just sitting there. I really wish the green part back here was more part of the map, because that lush environment was cool to see. Climate is a doozy, because no matter how you line it up, it's a 3-lane system map. Rotate the spawns, doesn't change anything. Add corrosive liquid, now that makes people think it's different. Climate was very innovative when it came to a map change. I'm hoping we get the same thing in World War II, with like maps evolving in a way. I don't know how they'd implement it into the kind of era of that, I wouldn't want it to be like Battlefield 1, like how they have the trains and such. Because then it'd just be copying them. Quarantine.
Ready up, Sentinel.
Quarantine does a good job at masking its 3-lane system, but it's still there. It's like they just resize maps, change the look, adjust the shapes, and put it out. Honestly, I'm starting to think this is more and more what they do. They take a map that they've done previously, squeeze it, or enlarge it, move some boxes, and then eventually they'll go into their computer software and build it and all that. And then I know it's a lot of work making these maps, but they've done this 3-lane system so much to the point to where it's like a Dark Souls kind of like system they got going, where they just push out another game after another. Bloodborne, you know, that kind of type deal. Or Mortal Kombat, that's another good example. You just keep pushing out the same engine and it will just be the same. And no one will blink an eye, you know what I mean? Like, I love Mortal Kombat, and I'm starting to actually enjoy Dark Souls. So I feel they found that system. Kremlin.
Weapons free. Light 'em up.
Kremlin is green band on the ground, for me at least. Shorten the middle part, raise it higher than the rest, add a back to the buildings, and upstairs with turrets. Green band version 2. Or green band 2.0, however you want to put it. I feel like they just kind of changed the shapes of green band, maybe retextured some things and compressed them and all that. Really, I feel like they just take a map and touch it up and put it back out. I have a really good example of this for Black Ops 3 and 2 of their DLCs they released. I think one of the maps is called Rise. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I played Black Ops 3. I've mainly played Modern Warfare Remastered now. But yeah, this has been the last advanced map for this video. We'll continue on with Black Ops 3, and then the next video will be Modern Warfare Remastered maps, or just COD 4 maps. Let's move on to Black Ops 3, one of the best games to provide content in the long run for the majority of its game cycle and then some. But it too has its problems. The 3-lane system is strongly implemented into this game, but the design overshadows it in an amazing way. Especially with the DLC maps. Let's get into it with Metro. Metro is one of the weaker maps in Black Ops 3 in my opinion. The line of sights are awful, the 3-lane system is a cause of it. The only strong part about this map is the tram in the middle. The middle lane is sorted with 2 shops and the track. One of the side lanes featuring an open lane with a few turns and water that has a trailer-like object on each side. While the other side is just 2 windows and a underpass, with 2 scout buildings on each spawn side. I started off with one of the side lanes, that being the open lane with the water, and then went down the middle lane, which is the 2 shops, and the track. The lane I just ran down was the windows, and this is a scout area. And to show you how symmetrical the maps are, I'm going back to the other side to show you the other scout room. The quality and design of Call of Duty's maps are great. Infection. Infection is one of my favorite maps on Black Ops 3, for the simple fact it's rumored to tie into the zombie storyline, which is really only one house supposedly, Nikolai's. Also, I know it has a strong connection to the Black Ops 3 campaign. Nevertheless, it has a very prominent three-lane system going for it. The middle consisting of a fountain and two outlooks. While one side is a floating rock and angles from outside of a building, the other side being the interior of a sideways house and a pastry. Now, I say their design and everything is superb, and I don't mean the layout. I'm talking about the aesthetics, the things you see, like the tanks, the fire being there. The little things that you don't really look at. Fringe. Fringe is one of the most blandest three-lane maps there is. Nothing happens within the map itself. Also, what's with the name, because it sure doesn't capture the fringe-like feeling I don't get from it. That may be a double negative, but regardless, the map very much so has a three-lane system in it, with a house and barn and the main road being the middle lane, the marketplace being a side lane, and the train stop being the other side lane. I call it the general goods store here. It's off to the side. I don't know if I've been there yet because I haven't been watching. But it's off to the left of that right there. I call that the marketplace. Exodus. Exodus's three-lane system is so blatantly there it hurts. The middle lane being the walled-off part and the interior of the main building. The side lane being the turtle statue along with the windows facing each other and their respectable buildings. With the other side lane being the buildings that are literally falling off the cliff. Going back to what I said before, this is a butterfly painting map. It's pretty obvious with this one. These being the two buildings with the two windows. The symmetry is unreal with this map. I don't see how they could make it and think, yeah, that's okay to put in the game. Which it came with the base game, but they do it with DLC maps too. Combine. Combine is one of my favorite maps in Black Ops 3. The line of sights give it equal opportunity to get the first kill. I understand that's also the three-lane system at work, but it doesn't change the fact that the three-lane system is boring at this point in time. The middle lane for this map is the, well, middle bridge and the two scout areas, with the side lanes being what seems to be a generator area, and the other side lane being a wall run only route. Like the only way you can use one of these side lanes is to wall run across. Which is this path right here. And then you go left instead of going right, and that's a lane. Gauntlet is a great map with a bad three-lane system. The only two things that separate this three-lane system from the rest is the underpass of the bridge in the middle and the environment change. The three-lane system is what allowed them to do this kind of map and make it somewhat realistic. But why name it something like Gauntlet? Why not something like Biomes? Something more environmental. This is the bridge with the underpass. I enjoy this map, but at the same time, the three-lane system is just there in my face, and I can't get over it. I think I enjoy this map simply for the fact that it is 3 different biomes, and that's pretty neat to me. I think you're going to be surprised by the next two I pick. And for some reason right here, it wouldn't let me get in the window. I know it was because I wasn't crouched, but why did it let me get on the lip? That was a weird moment. Outlaw. Outlaw is a remake of the classic Standoff. I include this map in here to show how long the system has been around. Be that as it may, they didn't used to consistently use the 3-lane system like they do now. This map's lanes, the middle being the main house with the main road, one of the side lanes being the garage and gas station. I don't know what to say for Outlaw players. I just know the callouts for Standoff. The other side lane being the antique shop and back pathways to the other spawn. Which I'm pretty sure back in Standoff days that was like a bakery type place, something like that. I don't know. I never really paid attention to, this is what I'm talking about, this house right here, or this building right here. I didn't really pay attention to what this building was. I just wanted that sweet sniper kill at the top of that. But this is the side lane that I was talking about, where it's a back way to the other spawn. Empire. I also include this as another example of how long this system has been around. It's from the same game as Standoff or Outlaw, originally called Raid. The middle lane of this being the main garden / open area, and the side lanes being the fountain and the pool areas. Now what I just went through, that's not the garden I was talking about. I don't really necessarily know what to call the middle lane, but this is one of the side lanes. I've already went through the other one. This area as well is referring to as the garden area. I don't really know what to call that. Spire is one of my favorite DLC maps, but the 3-lane system hurt it in the long run for me. This map is a lot of fun in a few ways. The 3-lane system is still easily identified within it though. The middle lane being the 2 sets of stairs on each side and the main area with the big window. The side areas being the wall run escapade on this map and the side garden area, with the 2 hallways leading to that point. I know I say garden area again, but this is what I'm talking about. This is the hallway leading to it. Pretty sure it has a tree in it. Yeah, this right here, that tree. I know it's not exactly a garden, but it's got a tree in it. Why is that tree there? You know what I mean? This being the middle lane. Tell me what you think in the comments below about the 3-lane system and how you feel about it. And oh yeah, I also saw this on Advanced Warfare whenever I logged into it. I think it's cool that they're advertising this game. What will you play first whenever the game comes out? Do you plan on starting in multiplayer, or are you going to be in the campaign? Or maybe zombies interest you? Me personally, I'm going to be on the campaign. Tell me what you think in the comments about that as well. Anyway, this has been Deadeye, and I'll catch you in the next video.